Welcome to Subramani. I hope you share this video with a lot of people because one question which I keep getting is Subra, is it good time to revisit my asset allocation? Should I buy more gold? Should I buy more bonds? Right? These are two questions which I have not been able to avoid. And should I be in more of cash? Okay, these three questions. Let me put it this way. When your portfolio has gone for a toss because there is a pandemic all over the world, is the worst time to worry about your risk tolerance. You are far more capable of handling pain and risk than what your current mental state allows you to. When there is so much panic in the market, people are losing jobs, your neighbor is a pilot in Indigo, he has taken a 40% cut in salary, and your friends have taken a cut in salary because they're working in companies which are steel manufacturing. I'm not talking of hotels, I'm not talking of airlines, but yes, in steel manufacturing, in entertainment, in every place, that is the time when your fear is heightened, and that is the worst time to check your risk profile and wonder whether you are in the right asset classes. Also, if you are in a 100% equity allocation, you have to be ready for a 50% cut in your net worth because that is the kind of fall that the market is capable of doing. Now, let's say you have 70% in equities and you are happy with 70% in equities and 30% in debt, or you were before March when COVID hit the markets. But you can't take a 30% fall in the market, then your asset allocation is wrong. You are not in a mental state. Forget your physical state, forget how much money you have. You are not in a mental state to take a risk. You cannot afford to have that kind of a portfolio mix which scares you so much that when there is a 30% fall or a 20% fall in the market, you panic and you relook and you keep worrying about what will happen. So let's look at what you should be really worried about. You should really be worried about the fact that 5 years later or 3 years later, the media will tell you if you had invested in 2020, today it would have doubled in 3 years or doubled in 5 years. And then you would calculate and said, my God, I missed a 14% rally over 5 years. Right? That is the kind of chance that you are likely to miss. However, if you see the media today, if you read the articles today, if you watch television, you will realize that they're saying cash is king, cash has done better than your index over the last 4 months, blah blah blah, that mid cap has done better, small cap has done better, large cap has suffered, or vice versa. I really don't know. I have not looked at the numbers to be able to be accurate. Please remember, somebody who is speaking on television is looking at a teleprompter, not at a crystal ball. They do not know what is going to happen. They are just scaring you. Stop feeding negativity to your brain. Your brain is anyway a scared animal. Remember, you're here because some forefather of yours was very scared. When he saw a deer about half a kilometer away, he climbed up a tree and he thought it was a tiger. Because of that scared man climbing up the tree, are you alive? You have his DNA, right? So you are bound to be scared. And today, watching scary channels with different types of graphs and charts and colors, you're likely to be more scared, and your immediate rush is to say gold has to do well in times of crisis, so let me buy gold. Or somebody tells you bonds are in good shape, they will not fall as much as equities, so therefore you now want to sell your equities which has already fallen maybe 20%, 30%, and then buy bonds and buy gold. Please understand, gold and bonds have already reacted. We are perhaps at the nadir of our interest rate cycle. It is not going to get worse in terms of interest rates going down. It might remain steady or it might actually go up. Are you prepared for that? You have to be prepared for the next battle. You can't be prepared for the previous battle. That none of us were, perhaps. None of us knew in the month of March what impact this is going to have. All of us thought, oh, lockdown means maybe 2 weeks of holiday or 3 weeks of holiday, and that's I remember when we played Holi at home, or rather, Holi became internal rather than external. I have a friend who said, "You played Holi, you stayed at home for Holi. Now plan to." Let me just say it again for emphasis. He said, "Plan to spend your Diwali at home." That is exactly what he said, and he's a doctor working in a pharma company. He said this virus is going to be pretty bad. And I was told this in the month of March. It didn't prepare me for anything. So I am prepared that till October nothing is going to happen in my life in terms of travel or lectures. We are all suffering, right? I mean, I am still doing some lectures online, but yes, of course, it's suffering. There is no denying that things are suffering. So, what should you do? I agree that I'm sure you now believe that you need not panic. Let us look at some of the things which you can do. First, worry about what you need and not what you want. In terms of, suppose you have 4 crores in your portfolio for your retirement, right? And you need to get about 5-6% return on that for the next 20 years. That's enough. Your 4 crores, now your thing is, maybe 3 crores is enough. So you still have a cushion. Even if the market falls, you don't have to worry. There is nothing going to happen. You are not going to die of not having food to eat, right? And let's face it, nobody ever tells you that man died of eating less. Normally, you hear only of people dying of eating more. So what is there to worry? You don't have to worry about, see how much is your need, and for that need, how much is the capital that you need, and do you have that capital? The chances are you have that capital. If you have that capital, why should you worry, right? Like if you're traveling by car and you find that your fuel is low, then you ask yourself, how long will this fuel last? Another 70 kilometers. How many kilometers do you have to go to reach your destination? Maybe 200. The question that you're asking is not whether this fuel will take me till the destination. The question you're asking is, will this fuel take me to the next petrol pump? That is what you're asking, right? So ask yourself a question. Assuming this pandemic lasts another year, because none of us know how long it will last, do you have enough money to live? And after that, will your income start going up? What will you do which is different? How much will your income go up? Ask those questions. Don't worry about if this pandemic continues for the next 140 years, what will happen? That is not a correct question to ask. The correct question to ask is, will the petrol last till the next petrol pump? Till your income starts going up, right? So ask yourself that question. Then ask yourself, what is the lowest point in your portfolio at which you will super panic? Right? Suppose your portfolio has fallen from 4 crores to 3 crores and you need maybe only another 2 crores for the rest of your life as a retired person. You still have a cushion. You don't have to worry. You have to worry only when that cushion goes away. For you, the threshold to super panic is maybe 2 crores. Then you ask yourself the question, if this falls even further, what will happen? Will my children support me? Those questions. But that question is not to be asked now. You've not reached that stage. Find out at what number should you really panic. Sit with the financial planner and say, look, I know my equity portfolio is not doing well. And maybe I needed to have added gold or debt. But Subra is saying it's too late to do that. So what should I do with my equity portfolio? So sit, do some analysis, run some situations and see what will happen. See what returns are you expecting on your debt. If you are expecting 6%, 5%, you will still do well. If you are expecting 10%, 11%, you will not do well. If you are expecting 15% from equity, something is wrong, right? So look at those things which is absolutely necessary for you. And like I said in the car example, will the fuel last till the next petrol pump? More importantly, stop chasing alpha with your money as though there is some, you're not in a casino, right? You don't need alpha. As long as you can meet your goals, that's good enough. So stop worrying about alpha, stop worrying about what returns your neighbor is getting. Remember, if you can get 7% in PPF, the only return that you can get in equity is say 30% more than that, which I'm being very liberal. is about 9.1%, and 9.1% is not bad at all in a country where the inflation is 4%. If you think the inflation is going to be 7%, you can be sure that the PPF interest rate, Public Provident Fund interest rate, will go to about 9. When that goes to about 9, you want again 1/3 premium to that, you should expect around 12%. Now, if you look at just the past returns and say, oh, last 4 years ago it gave 62% and all that, makes no sense. Please keep reducing your expectation. Please look at rolling returns. The rolling returns have to keep falling because last few years the returns have not been too great, right? And the other worry for you should be, at least I have seen people worry, is to say, but I have got nowhere near the 17% CAGR on the Sensex which is being promised. The problem is it's not a promise. Second, yes, 17% is true if you take dividends into account over the past, say, 21 plus 20, about 41 years. It does not mean it will happen going forward, right? The mean should be coming down. So you should have lesser expectation from all asset classes, including gold, including debt, including real estate, and more importantly, including equity. Please keep your expectation to 9% and you will have a surprise. Please, if you keep your expectation at 15% and you get 12%, you will be disappointed. It's all about managing your brain. Thank you.